Welcome back. There will be less than 50 burials for flood victims this weekend because government is dragging its feet. That's according to the KZN Funeral Association's forum. It says the majority of those who died are not on policies and government does not understand the workings of the industry. They held a briefing this afternoon. Lindokuhle Xulu was there. He joins us now live from Umhlanga. So, Linda, funeral associations are complaining about government holding up burial processes. That's because the state, of course, has offered to pay for those who don't have funeral policies.
That's right, Shahan. You'd remember that government did say that families that will be burying their loved ones will be offered about 15,000 rand to actually bury their loved ones and continue with that process. But according to some associations that have come together under the KwaZulu-Natal Funeral Association Forum, they have told us today that, first of all, there's been a lot of things they are unhappy with when it comes to some of the processes that have been put in place. In fact, quite frankly, they were telling us that they do not understand what processes need to be employed in this time, and that is why there is a lot of confusion around this. They have also lambasted the fact that government did not consult them in finding these processes and, in fact, in coming up with a figure that would be enough for families to actually bury their loved ones. We understand that, according to these associations, they are telling us that 20,000 rand would be the minimum in terms of bringing about dignity to these families, because they are talking about the fact that these are flood victims. Many people died under conditions of being underwater, and therefore they need certain chemicals to treat these bodies and their families to be able to have these bodies within their homes when they perform rituals as well as final services. So those are some of the things they are complaining about. But Shahan, what they are essentially telling us is that all of this is causing problems, it's causing confusion between funeral parlors, but also within families and their clients that are coming to them seeking for help. And that is why they are telling us that there is a lot of hiccups that will see less families bury their loved ones. But take a listen in terms of what they said, and especially about the figure that government has decided to give these families.
We sat as associations last week, over the weekend, and made different packages. The funeral package, just to cover the funeral, was 20,000 that we came with. That was going to give a dignified funeral for each family. and made packages sends a package, a catering, sends all packages that we know that are required for a funeral. And then they came back and said they would only pay 15,000, which is not enough. And the 15,000 unomgodi phakathi. The 15,000, some of the companies are vendors already kuthiwa yonke into ilapho. So these bodies, as now mortuaries, the deceased, onakele, we need to treat them. We need chemicals to treat them before ukuze nefamily akwazi ukuthi umuntu adlule ekhaya. Otherwise they can't go ekhaya benje. We need to take care of all of that. And the municipality, they're not considering that. They're just making decisions according to what? They don't know anything about our industry.
Oh, guys, but what about empathy? Anyway, tell us about whether this is actually going to lead to delays in people being able to bury their loved ones.
Well, ultimately, funeral parlors were not just complaining about figures. They were not complaining about not being included in the processes. They were also saying that all of these things have implications. And I did say earlier on that they're saying they're facing a lot of people coming to them saying that they want to bury their loved ones, asking them in terms of processes to get these government offered amounts to be approved so that they can start with the process of burial. But what they've also revealed today is the fact that those 15,000 rands that are offered by government, even them, when families go to them, they take time to actually approve some of those 15,000 rands. And that is why they said one of the biggest implications of this is that sitting at a figure of 435 people that have been confirmed to have been victims of these floods and have passed away, only about 50, less than 50 in fact is what they said would be buried this week. And this is because of the slow pace in terms of approving these figures that are offered by government. They did say that the people that will will see and be buried this time around are people that most of them had policies with these funeral parlors. But in terms of the majority of people that have passed away because of the floods, we are told by the associations that they were not covered with some of the policies or some of the plans that are on offer, and that is why they need to wait for government to approve this. But they're saying that that is at a snail pace, and you put that together with the fact that there needs to be post-mortems that are performed as well. They're saying that is adding onto that. But essentially the bottom line is less than 50 funerals of flood victims, according to the associations, are going to be seen in the province of KwaZulu-Natal this weekend. But take a listen to that explanation as well from the association and the forum.
It's 448, the number I had, but not even 50. When USAFA, we are a bigger organization in the province, we have 20 approved. The other associations, I'm not sure it's Aguko Octane. That was approved. We're not going to even see 50 bodies being buried. They'll be sitting in mortuaries, Nakone government mortuary. Something we could do in 2-3 days as palace, as all palace, we can easily do, but we need to be given a chance.
That's the last thing families need to deal with, right? They've already lost so much. We'll leave it right there. Reporter Lindokuhle Xulu.